Emerging artists are center stage at the Ignite Festival, which is on now in Calgary, and there are really performances for everyone. 25 different live performances, more than 100 artists, Jason. Tell me about what Ignite is. I know you're in your 15th year, and how did it come about?
It came about actually through seeing a similar event up in Edmonton called NextFest, and both Ignite and NextFest are about almost creating like a layer in the arts ecosystem where people where are getting their educations, they're learning how to do their art, and then there's the professionals. This is kind of that place in which they get that next step up.
Right.
Into connecting to other professionals, into their arts community, into a wider arts community, and so both Ignite and NextFest have been part of that layer.
And we love in this world one thing above all other things.
Yes.
Spooky stories, yeah.
And the performances really run the gamut. Some are funny and some are very serious.
Oh yeah, for sure. There's shows exploring all different kinds of contexts. We have different series. We've got a dance series. We've got an improv series. We've got a theater series, of course, because when we're not doing the Ignite Festival, we do plays. And we've also got the Provocation series, which Swallow a Bicycle is helping curate.
Right. Yeah, so interesting. Thank you so much for your time. For more information on the Ignite Festival, visit sagetheatre.com.
On Location with Lane.
25 different live performances involving more than 100 artists. We're talking about the Ignite Festival, which is on now in Calgary. The performances really run the gamut, Jeff, including yours. Screamy Linguini, it's improvised.
Yes, so it's a riff on the term creepypasta, which is like a scary story on the internet, and we don't do anything scripted. It's all on the spot.
The Case of the Lost Suitcase.
The Case of the Lost Suitcase. Yes, I like it. Oh!
Wait.
Oh.
There's one thing we forgot to mention.
Did we forget to mention that one little detail? We will be performing this story in the dark. So
You really have to rely on your partner, Ellie, I guess, for cues and to move through the story.
Absolutely, yeah. And she, like me, is a huge horror head. We love all kinds of horror, and so we rely on each other for just throwing up the weirdest things we can think of in the moment.
Yeah, but watching the rehearsal, you don't quite get it right when you're talking about different scary stories. It's really quite funny.
Yeah, well, the fun of improv is that even if you get it right, you've got it, or even if you get it wrong, you got it right.
Exactly.
Because it's a lot more interesting to see reaction than it is something that's been laid down long before. So yeah, we really love working together. We've been working together for about a year, sharing our love of scary stories. And I think what's fun about this form too is that when we actually get into the stories, it's a good mix of funny because, as you say, we screw up all the time, and horror because sometimes it really gets scary because it's in the dark.
It does because it's in the dark. All right. Well, thank you so much for your time. The Ignite Festival runs until June 15th. There's more information about tickets and performances at the website on your screen.
Barlow Trail, Northeast.
On Location with Lane.
The Ignite Festival is celebrating 15 years of supporting and showing emerging artists to Calgary audiences. The festival is on until June 15th. One of those emerging artists is Ricky. You have a play that's going to be on at Ignite. Tell me about your play.
My play looks at a group of Alberta women, the Famous Five, and there are two parts of their legacy, the part that we know and the part that we don't know. Oh, shoot. Are we, doing something? Oh, my gosh. I totally forgot. I was supposed to check my emails. Okay, let me see. Emails. Part that we don't know being the part that has negatively impacted marginalized women, and the part that we know has celebrated celebrated them as supporting all women, but there's been a lot of things that still happen today as this legacy that really has had a negative impact on a lot of disabled women, women of color, and just it just needs to it's just a story that I think we need to start looking at further.
The title is 100 Years in the Unmaking. Where did that come from? That's interesting.
Yeah, so this story really started about 100 years ago with Nellie McClung. We are from the same province, and she used theater with having the she used a mock a bit of a mock parliament, and where they debated the idea of men being able to vote, as if only women can vote and men couldn't vote, and they used that as a way to bring the vote to women in Manitoba. And so myself, I'm as a woman from Manitoba who's moved to Alberta, and I've actually done international advocacy work. So it's that idea that this has come 100 years, and where are we in 100 years?
Very thought-provoking. Thank you so much, Ricky. You can watch for Ricky's play and so many more performances at sagetheatre.com for more information. There's a chance to see some amazing live theater over the next couple of days here in Calgary. We're talking about the Ignite Festival. It's in its 15th year, and it supports emerging artists. Mark, you've been involved with the Ignite Festival for some time?
Yeah, I can't remember my first year, but when I was an emerging artist in my early 20s, the Ignite Festival was a really important platform for me to, get out of school and actually try something in front of a live audience. That was not my classmates.
Procrastinate. I guess we all like to procrastinate, or I don't know, maybe it's just me.
Look at how it's grown, 25 different live performances, more than 100 artists. Tell me about the area you are focusing on this year.
Well, yeah, as you said, there's many different series in Ignite. There's theater and dance and improv, and my company, Swallow Bicycle Theater, supports the festival by producing the Provocation series, which is where artists get to step outside the box a little bit and create sort of bold work that questions art, questions society, and is a little out there.
And do you hope the audience is challenged too?
Absolutely. It's a provocation series, so if you come out of here not feeling provoked in some way, then we have not done our job.
Yeah, exactly. You've got to watch for it. Thank you so much for your time, Mark. The Ignite Theatre productions are on until June the 15th. For ticket information, visit sagetheatre.com.